When you think of Dragon Ball's most powerful races, you probably think of Saiyans as your number one pick, or maybe someone like Frieza. But what if I asked you a question? What would happen if the Viltrumites were in Dragon Ball? Where would they rank among the most powerful races? And what if the main character, Goku, wasn't a Saiyan, but instead a Viltrumite warrior? Now, how would that actually happen? Well, first and foremost, we have to put Viltrum in the world of Dragon Ball, in Universe 7. Secondly, how are they going to interact with Viltrumites being conquerors and everything? Well, for one, they would have an entire war going on with Frieza. And Beerus would not like this whatsoever. So Beerus has half a mind to just wipe them all out. But Frieza makes a deal with him, and so Beerus actually wipes out the Viltrumite homeworld. But before he does, Bardock, I have the feeling that he would still see this coming and would still send Goku off, because Viltrumites are very much so about preserving their numbers. And of course, he would tell Raditz where Goku's going to go, but Raditz would be off-world, and we do know that Viltrumites do have communication devices. That much is shown in the show. So Raditz would know where Goku would be going, and Goku would go down to Earth. Now, Goku being raised on Earth as a Viltrumite, I have the feeling that he would not know anything about him being a Viltrumite, because for one, I could see him still falling and hitting his head when Grandpa Gohan rescues him and takes him in and raises him with the Viltrumite genetics on top of the Earthling deal. He'd be very much so like Mark Grayson from Invincible before, Nolan told Mark everything. So early Dragon Ball is going to be a absolute breeze for this man, and unlike in canon, Grandpa Gohan wouldn't die because there is no giant monkey form for Goku on this time. And everything in Dragon Ball just isn't even worth covering, so I'm just going to speed run it. Red Ribbon Army completely killed even Gero, because when Viltrumites are angry, they are way more bloodthirsty and are way more prone to just absolute violence. So yeah, Goku already being angry with the Red Ribbon Army would just wipe them all out. There will be no survivors. Now, King Piccolo, I do see Piccolo Jr. still becoming a thing, but King Piccolo would meet his end rather quickly as well. Nobody would actually really rival an early Viltrumite Goku, especially since he would already be around the same age where Mark's powers were developing, and on top of having Ki with Viltrumite strength, speed, durability, and their healing factor, no one's really putting up much contest to Goku, not even King Piccolo. It's not even close. And so when the tournaments come around, Goku wins every single tournament as well. Like I said, the humans here just won't be able to compete with a Viltrumite Goku. But he would also be convinced by Kami to spare Piccolo Jr., and Piccolo Jr. would get sealed up in a jar, allowing Kami to continue, and the Dragon Balls will also continue to exist. And that puts us in Z's timeline, and I'm going to actually cover what would Raditz be getting up to, being in his mind one of the two only last surviving Viltrumites, and for all intents and purposes that's actually true. And he would actually join up with the Heaters, and the Heaters would give him work, and Raditz would be much so obliged to them until he actually remembers, like, oh yeah, I actually have a brother who's on Earth. I'm in good enough standing now where I can go find Earth and just go ahead and look for my brother, and we can start actually rebuilding the Viltrumite Empire. That would be Raditz's head canon, his thought process. And once again, Viltrumites are very obsessed with their numbers and not wanting their race to completely die out. And Raditz would also really much so like the fact that he could become the Emperor, vying if his brother's not stronger than him. But he highly doubts that. So Raditz would actually just kill all the Heaters completely. He would be more like Nolan in the comics, who would attack the Heaters from the shadow when their guards dropped and take over their whole organization and go to Earth. That's what Raditz would be up to. And once he gets to Earth, he would actually find out that Goku has a child, but not with Chi-Chi, with Bulma this time around, because I feel like a Viltrumite Goku would appreciate the intelligence and the technical ingenuity that Bulma would possess way more than just, she's pretty alright for a human, Chi-Chi wise. So yes, Gohan would be born to Bulma, and Goku, and would actually be older this time around. I would say he'd probably be around 7 or 8 years old, but he wouldn't have his Viltrumite strength or anything since Mark didn't have it at that early age either. So Raditz would actually take this time to fill Goku in on everything, the Viltrumite Empire, its destruction, its downfall, in that they need to focus on rebuilding their numbers. And he would see Gohan and would actually be very much so impressed that these humans could actually create almost 100% identical Viltrumite offsprings. And this is where Raditz would actually tell Goku that they need to conquer this planet, and Goku would not be alright with that. But because of Viltrumite traditions, might makes right. So Raditz attacks Goku, and this is not even a close fight. For Goku's first time in his life, since he never took his training super seriously or anything, he gets beaten down pretty damn hard by Raditz here. It is a curb stomp, completely just out of the blue. But Goku's not the type of person who would back down or ever surrender, and so Raditz would have to begrudgingly kill Goku for his disobedience. And now this is a very interesting predicament here, because do they just take the chance and try to revive Goku with the Dragon Balls, giving away their, just trump card here and there? Or is there another option available? I do believe there is another option available, with Kami bargaining with King Yemma to let Goku go to King Kai's planet. With King Yemma seeing how everything's in dire straits and everything, I could not imagine why he would disagree with Kami on this, so Goku's gonna go and get to train with King Kai. Now this would be a huge power boost for Goku, the Kaioken on top of his Viltrumite body being able to withstand it way more easily than anything that a Saiyan would be able to do. So this already would put Goku miles high above him, but having that 10 times gravity that is stronger on King Kai's planet would strengthen Goku's body even further beyond what a normal set would be for him. And so this Goku, when he gets back, which, how are they going to bring him back without the Dragon Balls? Well, Kami just sacrifices his life for Goku on the promise that Goku will find a way to revive him. And of course, Mr. Popo would find everything out through Kami and would actually go ahead and tell Goku once Goku is back on the lookout before going to fight Raditz. And so Goku wastes no time. It's been a year and Raditz has conquered all of Earth and has actually produced many children. Just thinking of this as his way to replenish the Viltrumite Empire, a lot like how Thrag did on Thraxen. So Goku goes down there and he beats his brother within an inch of his life, and Raditz would actually submit because he doesn't know how his brother's back, but he doesn't want to find out. So Raditz would actually submit to his younger brother, and Goku would now become the Emperor of the Viltrumite Empire. Now, none of the children would have their Viltrumite powers activated quite yet, even Gohan, but Gohan would still be the strongest half-breed Viltrumite there is. So Goku actually tells Bulma that he's going to need a ship with the gravity training, since he states how much of an impact just 10 times Earth's gravity has had for him and how much stronger that's made him, so that they could get to Namek. And now Frieza has no idea that any of this is going on, but I do believe that Frieza would still send people to go and conquer Namek. So this is going to be a different type of Saiyan saga. Whereas Raditz and Goku get to Namek and see that Frieza's forces, Nappa, Vegeta, with Zarbon, and Doria, would already be trying to conquer the planet. And, well, Viltrumites do not like having something that they want disturbed. There can be no resistance from other parties. There can be no competition. They immediately just wipe them all out. And now the Namekians owe the Viltrumites, and so they would get their wish to bring back Kami. And after that, there's real no point of them sticking around, right? They got what they came for, and so they head back to Earth. Now, Frieza would find out that the Viltrumites that wiped out his people were from Earth. So that's exactly where Frieza heads, to Earth. But it's not going to go the way Frieza thinks. He thinks that he can just send down an army and that Earth will be conquered. What whoop-de-loop-de-doo. But that's not the case, because immediately, as soon as he steps foot on Earth, when Raditz and Goku are there, because of course they would get there before Frieza would, and Frieza's whole army just gets decimated. It's not close. And then Frieza himself goes down there, only to find out that he just gets his shit rocked. Goku immediately just goes down there and snaps Frieza's neck. It is not anywhere close. There is no second form, there's no third form. But let's play devil's advocate, right? Let's say that Frieza, just seeing this massive onslaught, and he feels a little bit threatened and wants to put them in his place. Let's say he does go to his final form. He has to take on 2 Viltrumites, and one of which has the Kaioken that can stack all the way up to a Super Saiyan multiplier, maybe even be beyond that, right? There is no outcome where Frieza wins. No, Frieza gets handled quickly and effectively, and is just put in a pack. Like, that man is 6 feet under, not coming back, right? So the Frieza Empire gets wiped out right then and there. And he doesn't know about any Dragon Balls. Nobody in Frieza's force would know anything about the Dragon Balls. So, once again, Frieza's done. There is no Cell Saga. So, that whole stretch from Frieza's saga all the way to Buu saga, there is nothing but just training for the Viltrumite brothers and their offsprings, which Raditz would continue to have more and more children in hopes that he can get them to just overthrow Kakarot, because he doesn't see Kakarot as a viable leader at first. That slowly starts to change over the years, where Earth would actually change Raditz to be more like Goku, like it did with Nolan and all the other Viltrumites that actually survived and lived on Earth. So they would actually become Earth's biggest defense force, and when Bobby comes down to Earth, it does not go the way he wants. I mean, he is immediately like snuffed out once the Supreme Kai gets there, explains the situation. Buu coming back, not an issue. Raditz already been changed. He doesn't want to go back to that Viltrumite lifestyle, that old way, you know, so there is no way for him to get controlled. And his children, they only know life on Earth, so there is a even less of a chance of any of them getting taken over. And Gohan, same way. He's just not getting taken over by Babi's mind control. So Dabura is probably the best bet, but at this time Gohan would have his powers activated and would be incredibly powerful. So Goku would just let Gohan handle it, which he could do easily, very easily. I mean, it's over in 3 hits. He just 3 taps Dabura right in the stomach, punching a hole straight through him, and then let's just say he kicks his head. It doesn't shatter immediately, which it would, but even then he just like slams his fist through Dabura's skull to end it. That's all it would take. The key attacks don't even matter anymore for the Viltrumites, because they would be that powerful. And of course Gohan would know the Kaioken because Goku would teach it to him. So Gohan and Goku and Raditz at this point would all know the Kaioken, and it would be taught on to all of Raditz's children. And Goku would have 2 more sons, twins this time, one named Goten, the other one would be named Trunks, and these 2 would have even more latent potential than what Gohan would have. So the Viltrumite Empire is actually like relatively rebuilt, and it's not even an issue. So now, all the way until Battle of Gods, where Goten and Trunks would probably be around 12 or 13 at this point, 15 at the latest, right? They would just completely start to get their powers, and once again, just overkill. So when Beerus gets there, he would actually still body Goku and all the Viltrumites there, but this time he wouldn't really kill them, because he could see that these Viltrumites have been changed. However, his dream about a Super Saiyan God would be gone in smoke once he learned that, you know, Raditz and Goku just wiped out the only 2 Saiyans left in existence a long time ago. So he would just be absolutely distraught that his dream didn't come true, but Whis would say that it would have merit to teach the Viltrumites how to access the God Ki, seeing as how they could potentially rival Beerus. And Beerus would be okay with this, because he thinks in his mind there's no way a Viltrumite could ever catch up to him. This would be his mistake, because as soon as one of the Viltrumites know how to access God Ki, they're gonna teach the rest of them. So Goku and Raditz Raditz would be selected and would go up there and learn God Ki. Now, there's two paths I could see this going in. One path to where they fight Beerus, and Beerus barely wins and gets scared shitless, or the other option, which would be that Beerus just gets killed by Raditz and Goku working together. But I don't think that that one would be actually feasible yet. Not yet. Not at the point where Resurrection F would take place, which there would be no Resurrection F art. So, they two would just continually get stronger and stronger and stronger until the Universe 6 tournament. And, well, their 5 people for the tournament would be Goku, Raditz, Gohan, Trunks, and Goten. That would be the team. Now, this team is extremely not going to be easy for any of them. Even Hit's time skip would prove to be a huge problem, with all of them knowing Kaioken, and I'm gonna actually say at this point, all of them would have access to God Ki. So Champa's team stands no chance. Botamo is easily just thrown out of the ring. Magetta, once they find out his weakness, which is just trash talk, which is Trunks and Goten's specialty, he's easily fodderized. Just gone. Then you have Kaba, a Saiyan from their universe, right? Because let's just say Champa valued the Saiyans over the Viltrumites, which, by going off the logic in Champa's universe would have very good Viltrumites, actually. So, the Saiyan boy Kaba would just actually get wiped clean out, just a swift knockout by Trunks once again, which Trunks would be the one fighting here up first, and he would just be smoking every single person. Now, I'm not going to say that he would completely smoke Hit here yet, since, you know, Trunks would be extremely overconfident, and Hit is an extremely technical fighter, but obviously limited by tournament rules. So, Trunks would actually get knocked out. But after seeing that, Raditz would go up next, and Raditz, having seen that, would know what was going up, and he would just absolutely outpace Hit, outfight Hit, and has the body that's strong enough to just destroy Hit. In my personal opinion, I think a Viltrumite with God Ki and having gravity training and access to everything else that the Saiyans have had would just be way stronger, since in my personal opinion, the average Saiyan is way below the average Viltrumite. So the tournament would end in Beerus' favor, but he would wish back Champa's Earth. Now, there would be no Goku Black Arc. There's just no way, since no time travel, which is kind of how that whole deal starts anyway. There's no future Trunks here, so there's no Goku Black Arc anyway. So we're just gonna go ahead and skip right on over to the Universal Survival Arc Saga. And once again, the Universe 7 here is extremely stacked out, because what they're missing with Frieza and the androids, they make up with other Viltrumite soldiers. So we're going to have Goten and Trunks already there, replacing 17 and 18. And then the last one could just be Raditz's son, who we're just going to name Oliver, right? Just for the sake of it, we're just going to name his son Oliver here. Like, honestly, the biggest competition would probably be Universe 11 and 6, because I could see that Champa would just recruit a team full of Saiyans and Viltrumites here, along with having Hit as well. But those Saiyans and those Viltrumites are significantly weaker, since they've never learned Super Saiyan. Nobody even knows that Super Saiyans are a real thing. They don't have God Ki, so basically they're just inferior Viltrumites at this point in time, and inferior Saiyans as well. So throughout the whole tournament, Universe 7 is just racking up points, and it's just hilarious how bad it's going down. And so, in the end, even Jiren would not be able to stand up to these guys, because they don't play around. Viltrumites are very much so just down for business. They would eliminate everyone and would win. And I could see Goku just wishing back all the universes, because that's how he was brought up. That's how he was raised. And so Zeno would still be pretty happy with Goku and would allow the wish to happen. And that's where the series would end. I don't see it going into Broly, because nobody even knows that Broly's there. So unfortunately for him, he spends the rest of his days on Vampa. But if you guys do disagree with this, comment down below. Have fun with it. I sure had fun with this story, because honestly, like I keep saying, Viltrumites are extremely overpowered when compared to Saiyans, and if you give the Viltrumites the same buffs and benefits that Saiyans do, well, they're just gonna overpower the entire series and verse. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day, and Golden, go ahead and close it out, man.
Well, I think first off, I gotta say, absolute amazing job by Mr. Crown Fiend. If y'all don't know who he is, go check the link in the description. Crown Fiend is one of the good homies. I've known him for quite a while now on YouTube. If y'all are wondering, hey, why didn't you do this story? Why didn't you do it? Blah, blah, blah. The main reason why I didn't personally do it myself was that I don't know that much about Invincible, about Viltrumites. I've watched the show, but I haven't watched it in its entirety. And he knows a ton. He's read all the comics and all that. So sometimes, maybe on this channel, maybe on the other one, you'll see another person pop in who's more intelligent than I am about a certain aspect of an anime, and they think they can do it better justice, and I think they can do it better justice, so we allow them to do that on this channel. Crown Fiend's a good friend, and I'm sure if you go over to his channel, you will also eventually be seeing me record some things on his behalf too in the near future. As always, if y'all enjoyed, show some love, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below. We have a Discord in the links in the description, as well as a Spotify, and that's all I gotta say. I hope all y'all, like he said, have an amazing day. Later.